Have you ever wondered how the Arab-Israeli conflict, one of the longest-running disputes in modern history, began? The seeds of this enduring conflict were sown in the late 19th and early 20th century, with the rise of two powerful national movements: Zionism, advocating for a Jewish homeland, and Arab nationalism, demanding independence from Ottoman and Western rule. The stage was set for a clash of aspirations, and the Balfour Declaration in 1917 was a spark to the powder keg. This British statement supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, a region inhabited by a majority Arab population. This was followed by the British Mandate in Palestine, further inflaming tensions. Over time, these divergent national movements found themselves on a collision course, each laying claim to the same land. As we delve into the 1940s, the tension between these two groups escalates, culminating in a pivotal event. In 1948, the United Nations proposed a partition plan, but it was rejected by the Arab nations. What happened next? The State of Israel emerged, proclaimed into existence on the 14th of May, 1948. This unprecedented move was met with immediate military intervention by the neighboring Arab states, marking the First Arab-Israeli War. The fighting was fierce, and the stakes were high, with each side determined to defend their beliefs and homelands. The war ended in 1949 with the signing of the armistice agreements, but peace was elusive. The aftermath saw a significant shift in the region's demographic landscape, with a massive influx of Jewish immigrants to Israel and the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs. This period was also marked by a state of political instability, with borders and territories in constant dispute. This war set the stage for a series of conflicts that would define the region for decades to come. From the 1950s to the 1970s, the Arab-Israeli conflict took a series of dramatic turns. How did these events shape the course of history? Let's delve into this tumultuous era. The Suez Crisis of 1956 was a pivotal moment. Frustrated by the refusal of the United States and Britain to finance the Aswan Dam, Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal. This move was met with military intervention from Britain, France, and Israel. But the trio was forced to withdraw under pressure from both the US and the Soviet Union. This event significantly altered the power dynamics in the Middle East, weakening colonial powers and strengthening Arab nationalism. Fast forward to 1967, and we find ourselves in the midst of the Six-Day War. A swift and decisive victory for Israel, this conflict led to a significant territorial expansion. Israel seized control of the Sinai Peninsula, the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. This war not only redrew the map, but it also deepened the animosity between the Israel and its Arab neighbors, setting the stage for further conflict. And indeed, 6 years later on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Israel. The Yom Kippur War was a bitter struggle, but it ended in a military stalemate. However, it had far-reaching political implications. Shocked by their initial losses, Israel was forced to acknowledge the strength of the Arab states. On the other hand, Egypt, despite not winning the war, was able to restore some national pride, which paved the way for peace negotiations with Israel. These three pivotal conflicts, each unique in its causes and outcomes, significantly influenced the course of the Arab-Israeli conflict. They exacerbated tensions, altered territorial boundaries, and complicated the political landscape in the Middle East. Despite attempts at peace, the conflict remained unresolved, leading to an era of intifadas and peace processes. In the late 20th and early 21st century, several peace initiatives were launched. Have they brought an end to the conflict? The answer, sadly, is not as straightforward as we might hope. The Oslo Accords of the 90s, for instance, were hailed as a breakthrough, marking the first face-to-face agreement between the government of Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization. However, the road to peace proved bumpy, with both sides accusing the other of non-compliance. Fast forward to the Camp David summit in the early 2000s. Despite the high hopes and intensive negotiations, the summit ended without an agreement, leaving a bitter taste of disappointment. The international community continues to play a crucial role, mediating talks and advocating for a two-state solution. Yet, the conflict persists, with peace seeming elusive. As we look to the future, the resolution of the Arab-Israeli conflict remains one of the most complex challenges in global politics. The Arab-Israeli conflict, spanning over a century, is a tale of nationalism, religion, and geopolitical interests. Born from clashing nationalistic aspirations, it's been punctuated by wars and fragile peace initiatives. The 1948 war, the Six-Day War, the Yom Kippur War, the Intifadas, all paint a picture of a tumultuous region. The peace process, while offering glimmers of hope, has often been fraught with challenges. Today, the conflict continues, with both sides yearning for recognition and security. While the path to peace remains elusive, understanding the history of the Arab-Israeli conflict is a step towards fostering dialogue and reconciliation.